I just did a DNA test. I am 100% that bitch who is obsessed with Lizzo. The hip-hop star has completely taken over the Billboard charts with her hilarious lyrics and contagious tunes. And although she's all over the media, I can guarantee that there are some things you do not know about her. Let me prove that to you today on Top 10 Beyond the Screen with our countdown list today of facts that you don't know about her. I'm your girl Joss. Find us outside of YouTube. Our social media links are down below. And stick around to the end so you can catch some bloopers and some common features. I might even sing some Lizzo for you. Starting off the list, number 10 is Lizzo is not her real name. Well, I'll be damned. The 31-year-old is really making a name for herself in the music industry right now when it turns out that Lizzo is her stage name, which some people might have figured out by now. So what is her real name and why did she go with Lizzo? Her real name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson. She was born in Detroit, Michigan, but later moved to Houston, Texas with her family. Music was a huge part of her childhood. During an interview, she said, "There was a lot of freestyling on the school bus, there was a lot of freestyling in the cafeteria, and there was a lot of freestyling on the radio. I would call into this morning show and try to get through so I could do a freestyle. Like many other kids do, Lizzo and some friends created a rap group called the Cornrow Clique." Creative. She was just 14 years old when they made the group, but they all came up with names and that's how Lizzo started. Originally they were gonna call her Lissa from her real name Melissa, but Jay-Z's song Izzo was popular at the time, so she changed it to Lizzo. From that moment on, she stuck to Lizzo and never looked back. I would still be Jossie Bossy if I went with my 14-year-old nickname, or Joss the Boss. So if I ever need a stage name. Coming up next at number 9 is she was homeless. When we see people who are as successful as her, it's hard to picture their life before they landed themselves in Hollywood spotlight. Before she became the sassy singer we know her as now, she was once a musician who was desperately trying to make it. She's currently worth an estimated $2.3 million and is taking the music charts by storm. But before any of her success, there was a time in her 20s when she was homeless for 2 years. She spoke with The Sun about it and said, "It sucked. It was very lonely, it was very hard, and I think that I had risked it all for music." But somehow she still went on to call herself privileged through all of it. She explained and said that she felt privileged at the time for being able to sleep on the floor of her drummer's house, sleep in her sister's car, and being able to sneak into the 24-hour fitness gym to use the showers. Bless her soul. What a saint. Sliding to the number 8 spot is she was trained in classical music. The hip-hop artist took the world by storm when she whipped out a flute on stage and played it. And not in like some sort of fun comedy sketch way, she actually played the flute, and she's incredibly skilled with it. Turns out the artist is trying to bring the flute along with classical music into the current hip-hop generation. She started learning how to play the flute at a very young age and joined the marching band at school. She later went on to Houston University where she majored with a music scholarship to train in classical flute performance. I didn't even know that they offered programs for flute. When she first showed off her flute skills, people were quick to call it fake, saying that she was just pretending to play. And like anyone else would be, she was frustrated. She trained in classical music and has played the flute for 20 years. Imagine someone trying to take that from you and saying you're faking it. Lizzo clapped back by posting an acrobatic flute riff on her Instagram, and she captioned it, "For the weirdos that think I have the time to fabricate a flute backstory, rent a flute to tour with, and pretend to play." That's right, she uses her own flute, and it even has its own Instagram account. Her name is Sasha, and if you want to follow it for some weird reason, the handle is @SashaBeFluting. In the number 7 spot is she lost her dad. Lizzo has openly talked about her father's death and the fact that she was the last one to find out when it happened. Her father Michael was in his 50s when he suddenly passed away. Lizzo was actually living in a different city than her family when she got the news that he had died, but she explains that she was the last person to find out about it because she missed the call. She just so happened to be showering at the time that the news broke, and when she got out of the shower she had a bunch of missed calls and texts, so she ended up getting a hold of her sister who told her the news. She talks about it so openly because he is the reason she pursued music and took up the iconic flute playing. She says that he always encouraged her to continue playing the flute, no matter how uncool people said it was, and he was super supportive of her music dreams. At his service, she said goodbye by playing a heart-wrenching and beautiful tribute on her flute. At number 6 we have Lizzo was on reality TV. 2019 has been quite the year for her. She's been burning up the charts and slaying on the award show stages. But some of her fans might have seen her in a very unexpected place. She actually performed on the show called Made in Chelsea back in 2014. In her scene, she was performing a song during a cutaway scene while the rest of the cast is dancing to the music. Jamie Lang, Lucy Watson, and Binky Felstead can all be seen in the crowd as Lizzo belts out a rendition of Blondie's Rapture. She looks hella different too. She's rocking some mane of blonde curls on the show. Definitely not somewhere you would expect to see her, and definitely not the hair you would expect to see her wearing. But I guess we all start somewhere. Halfway through list number 5 is the big girls. Now, one thing we all know by now is that Lizzo is a huge advocate when it comes to body acceptance, love, and positivity. She flaunts her size and encourages others to do the same, to love yourself no matter what the world defines as beautiful. She even wrote a song about it called My Skin, which she says is the thesis statement to her second album. Back in March 2015, Lizzo posted a casting looking for backup dancers, but she wasn't just looking for anyone, she wanted some big girls. But don't worry, she didn't only want big girls, she just encouraged it. She posted the casting on Facebook and it said, "Attention big girls, Lizzo is looking for backup dancers, looking for girls of all shapes and sizes, curvy girls a plus." Lizzo has since talked about it and admits that she wanted curvy girls to feel encouraged and comfortable with the auditions, and that is how her backup dancers got the name The Big Girls, spelt with 3 R's. What can she say? She likes her dancers to have curves. All her backup dancers right now are made up of plus size dance artists, but let's be clear, it is probably Hollywood's definition of plus size, not mine. You may not have realized that this was all done on purpose and was supposed to go hand in hand about what Lizzo promotes about body image. Here we are number 4 with she hosted a show. Look at her go, trying on different hats in the industry. Back in 2016, it was announced that she was casted to host the MTV series called Wonderland. It was a weekly music-based show that also included some stand-up comedy. She posted a self-drawn portrait of her and her co-host and told her followers about the new gig. The show was created to provide a platform for artists to express and reveal who they are in whatever kind of performance they wanted. Lizzo was the host of the show and was perfect for the part, which is why it was such a shame that the show was later cancelled and we didn't see her come back in a later season, because there wasn't one. Alright, we are number 3 with the fact that she didn't write Truth Hurts. This song has actually been out for more than 2 years, but it wasn't until this year did it make its way onto the Billboard Hot 100 list. After the song blew up and Lizzo shared the achievement on Instagram, a music producer named Justin Raisin came forward claiming that it was actually his. He posted a video to his Instagram saying that she plagiarized a song he wrote during a writing session back in 2017 called Healthy. He compared the songs and showed that they have similar riffs and both start with the legendary line, "I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that." Now, at first I was like, oh, now you want to come out and say that it's yours because it's a massive success? But apparently he's actually been trying to fight for credits for the past 2 years, and he put this song in dispute when it first came out back in 2017. Lizzo has explained that the line actually came from a tweet meme that she saw online that made her feel like she was 100% that. So she sang the line during the demo and then later used it for her song. So she's giving a songwriting credit to the person who created the initial tweet. And that's it. And spot number 2 is she doesn't identify with gender or sexuality. Just another reason why a lot of people adore her. She promotes body positivity, but she's also a huge advocate for the LGBTQ community. She often encourages people to be whoever they want and to own it. During an interview with Teen Vogue, she explained that she herself does not conform to a certain gender or sexuality. She said, "When it comes to sexuality or gender, I personally don't ascribe to just one thing. I cannot sit here right now and tell you that I'm just one thing. That's why the colors for LGBTQ are a rainbow, because there's a spectrum, and right now we try to keep it black and white. That's just not working for me." She was named one of the top 50 people on the Pride 50 list, which is a list of people who actively ensure that society remains moving towards equality. And being the clever girl that she is, she even came up with a fun nickname for her fans. She calls them the Lesbians. Taking the number 1 spot on the list is she collabed with Prince. The rare occasion and honor happened for Lizzo back in 2014 when she was just a rising star. Somehow her dreams came true and she did a collaboration with the icon Prince on the song called Boy Trouble. It was written for his 2014 album that has a title that I cannot really say, but I will try anyways. Plectrum Electrum. I think that's right. The song also featured Lizzo's former bandmates Sophia Iris and Claire de Lune. When talking about the experience, she said it was like a fairy tale to her as it probably would be for most of us. She also said that it was the moment that she felt some kind of validation as an artist, and that was when she was just getting started. So that's pretty impressive. Alright guys, there's a whole countdown list all about our girl Lizzo. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if you knew any of these facts. In the meantime, I'm gonna end the video with some comment shoutouts. Miki Thomas says, "You probably love to hate her." I automatically love that line. It is so true, man. People be hating so much that it's like they enjoy hating on her. So you actually hate to love. No, you love to hate her. Big Daddy Sam says, "Man, TV characters be disappearing like Houdini, lol." Honestly, I so badly wish that I thought of this joke on my own and that I used it in that last video. That's clever. Colin Featherstone says, "What about Jamie Spears from Zoe 101? She actually didn't mysteriously disappear. She got pregnant at 16 or 15 or something like that, and it made news headlines. So it wasn't a mystery at all." Marissa Bones says, "Didn't get much closure. Story of a female's life." Do we ever get much closure? I feel like I'm just like putting my own personal issues on everyone else, but hey. Alright guys, that is our list. Let me know who else you want to see on our facts list. What else do you guys want to know? And make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can also ring that notification bell if you want to see me every day. I might sing more Lizzo for you. You never know. But for now, enjoy the bloopers. Truth hurts and so exciting. Bum bum be dum be bum bum. It tried to break my heart.